What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Elude Stalwart playing World of Warcraft Legion patch 7.3.5. This is the Lightforged Ally Race leveling episode 31. Once again, my name's Elude Stalwart, and today I'm going to be playing Daydream, my level 50 Lightforged Draenaii Paladin. She's a Retribution Paladin, and we just got to... Well, I think we actually need a new zone, because we did Western and Eastern Plaguelands yesterday, and we're getting close to being able to approach Burning Crusade content. Or, with the new level scaling patch, we could even head to Northrend, I think, at level 58. So, that's going to be kind of cool. I think today I'm just going to be doing some random dungeon finder, and in between that, we're going to see what kind of quests we can knock out. I don't know if I want to switch up what zone I've been leveling in or head out to Eastern Plaguelands again or what. I could pretty much pick any zone I want though, so maybe I won't even make it that complicated. Now that we're level 50, we only really need to grind out 8 more levels, so maybe there's a spot I could go to that's close to the major city. That way I don't have to do so much traveling. I don't know, I'm trying to think what would be a good zone that I used to always level in that I enjoyed. STV. Ooh, we could do that. We could go to Stranglethorn Vale and do like the Nessingwary quest chain and go kill like animals and trolls and stuff. What else would be a good zone? Most of the characters I've leveled to this point have all been Horde characters, so like what comes to mind is like Crossroads and the Barrens and like Thousand Needles. Tanaris would be a good one. I don't know how we'd get out to Tanaris though, like I'm not sure. I'm thinking Minithil Harbor. What is it? Not the wetlands, but Duskwallow Marsh. I could probably take the boat from Minithil Harbor in the wetlands to, what is it, Duskwallow Marsh. I forget the name of the town there, Theramore I think, and then run down through Stone Talon Mountains to get to Tanaris. That sounds like a lot though. I might just see if I can hit up STV since I'm already in Stormwind apparently. Yeah. We'll do that. STV. Find group. Alright, so right off rip, immediately, a little bit of lag, we jumped into the dungeon queue. Looks like a 7-minute queue. Today was a maintenance day. I didn't expect there to be... Ooh, Burning Steps would be a good one too. Here, we'll, let's check our log. We got a lot of quests here. We're not going to go back to Eastern Plaguelands, so we can get rid of those. Loch Modan. We don't need to go to Loch Modan. Northern Stranglethorn. We already have the quest for that. Tanaris. We don't want Tanaris. That means we can get rid of the beacon as well. We don't need this. Western Plaguelands. We're done. We're not going to go back there. Stormwind. Northern. Nomer again. I'm probably not going to see Nomer anymore in the queue. Dire Maul I might see. Blackrock Depths rather I might see. I don't know if you noticed the quest log seems to be doing some fancy stuff. The rest of these, Uldaman, I don't know if I'll see that. Zul'Farrak. We'll keep the dungeon quests just for the time being. We'll see. Well, just to make sure that we've out-leveled those. And then, what else can we do here? I want to make sure I take care of everything I need to before I leave here. Okay, reputations. We're honored with Nomer again. We have 2 16-slot bags. I think we should get one more. I don't know where we would get this one. We'd have to either go to Exodar or Darnassus, I think, in order to get those that 4th bag. I don't know if there would be a representative over here. Excuse me. There should actually be, before I get too much further from this area, I think there's a Pandaren representative up here. I know I could get the Hojin tabard. I want to make sure I take care of this city stuff before I get out questing, because I don't want to have to come back. Our professions, as I noticed that and come to think of it, yeah, our professions are good. I think this little gazebo out here has the Pandaren Hojin tabard representative. And that'll give us our 4th bag. Looks like general chat's blowing up today. RP servers try their best to ensure you're able to group with people from your realm unless populations are dipping too low or high. There's a sense of community, which is essentially gone in normal WoW. Vanilla is more of a true MMORPG, though it was a better social game. Where's the quartermaster? This guy. It's not Hojin, it's Tushui. There. We got that tabard. So now, this is what I'm thinking. See, that's the Pandaren ally tabard. Now I'm thinking whenever we hit Revered with Nomer again, we're Honored. We're about 35% into Honored. We'll be able to get the 3rd 16 slot bag from Reputations. And then the Tushui tabard will give us our 4th. So that takes care of that. What were they talking about? Social community. Amaranthia said it wasn't better. You just had to group. Better? No, just different, said another person, a druid. This mage says, IP Worgen said, some people enjoy team play. And then a rogue was like, I loved pressing 2 buttons in vanilla too. He only had the two button press. This warrior says, the best part was 40-man Nax. Ooh. I don't know about that. LOL, vanilla was graded 2005. It was less social. It was harder to find people to do stuff with. The tools that you had were pretty limited. Ally. What did he say? They're all just reminiscing about vanilla. That's been very much like what's been happening since allied races and level scaling. I think they're already nailing it. It feels like they're already like they're bringing back that nostalgia because it's on everybody's mind, or maybe it's just them dreaming about what the classic WoW is going to be like whenever that drops. The mage said, interacting with people isn't necessarily very hard. Ooh, got them auctions selling. Iron ore and a bunch of cloth. That puts us up to 2,500 gold just about. They're just talking about like what great rewards. What rewarding content felt like. Level 25 to 60 Stranglethorn Veil. I want to see if I can actually do this, actually. Or I could head to Burning Steps. I think I will. I think I'm going to head to Burning Steps instead. Oh, geez. Get away from me. I did grab the quest for it, right? No, I missed it. Dang. Okay, so we don't need to see this. We should try to see if we can get Northern Stranglethorn, but I think I'd much rather go to Burning Steps. Detention Block, Blackrock Depths, Strathholm. I think there's a mission board out here that'll send us that way. I don't know if it'll unlock the flight path for us. We might still have to just run out there. But at least Burning Steps isn't going to be too very far. Or Blasted Lands. Blasted Lands is right by the portal. Let's do that. Let's go to the Blasted Lands. That'll lead us straight into Burning Crusade. Okay, so report to the quartermaster in Netherguard Keep. It's telling me to take the Griffin to Duskwood. And now we're just gonna run out that way. They're still talking about it. They said it was dumb and annoying that you spent more time trying to find some nerds to run a dungeon than it actually took to run the dungeon. So it took more time to find the group than to run the dungeon. Back in vanilla, they say. Night P. Worgan said, so a reward that takes less effort feels better than the one you have to work at? Another mage was like, free pizza tastes better, is all I'm saying here. That's a good little wrap up to that conversation and debate. Free pizza tastes better, folks. Riptorn85 said, YOLO. Yeah, man. YOLO indeed. YOLO-tastic. YOLO Stein. I don't really know what it was. Just got a little bit of a travel ahead of us. I think we got a couple minutes left in queue. It said 7 minutes on the dungeon finder, but we're now at 8 minutes and 40 seconds, so it gave up trying to predict how much time. How you doing this morning, Ripton? Doing alright? Welcome to the stream, man. We're leveling this Lightforged Draenaii. I'm trying to figure out a good way to get her into BC. I got like 8 more levels to grind out. I'm level 50. Once I hit level 58, I can either head to BC or Northrend. I was thinking BC because as a Lightforged Draenei, I got this talent, or this passive rather, called Demon Bane. And what's cool about Demon Bane is the experience that I gain from killing demons is increased by 20%. Now, that on top of bind on account gear sounds really, really nice, but I remember specifically Ian Hazakostas, the lead game developer, game designer. He said that with bind on account gear and XP bonuses like potions and stuff like that, you can only ever have a maximum of 50% increased experience gained from killing mobs. So I'm gonna get murdered here. Please don't kill me. They're yellow. Okay, good. Anyways, if you add up all the bind on account gear bonuses, I'm sitting at 45% increased experience from killing monsters. And I think that applies to, yeah, turning in quests as well. Whereas if you add Demon Bane on top of that, you would think, oh, I'm going to be getting a 65% increased experience gain. But it's capped at 50%, so you can't actually go past that 50%. At most, I'll get 5% more from Demon Bane when I'm fighting demons. So that actually, it sounds like a bad thing that it won't go up so high, but for my situation, in my case, I actually think that's a good thing, because I've never really been a fan of Burning Crusade, like leveling. So I was thinking of actually just skipping up to Northrend, and with the bind on account gear, I can actually do that. So that might be what I end up doing. I'll just go ahead and skip BC altogether and start questing in Northrend. And then with level scaling, like, really, to be honest, I could just stay back in, like I was saying earlier, Stranglethorn Vale until I hit 60 if I wanted. Oh, ow. Get away from me, it's a level 60. Run. Please don't kill me, orc. You've never seen a Lightforged Draenaii. This is nice. You see this? Like, every time it gets dark, my tattoos and the rune on my head start glowing, and even her eyes. Pretty sweet. Lightforged Draenaii. Ripton85 says, doing good, about to go to school. Nice, man. Get that education. I'm thinking after Blasted Lands, I'll probably do, I don't know. I'm thinking Blasted Lands is probably going to ding me up to level 58, no problem with the dungeon queue. I'm not sure if anything's popping right now. That could work to my advantage though. I could get more quests done. I've really been enjoying level scaling though so far. Been leveling Daydream really fast with this level scaling. Let's see, I've been playing for 1 day and 2 hours on Daydream. And in that amount of time I've made it to level 50. So there's an idea of how quickly the leveling is happening. We got a rogue up here. Blood Elf rogue. So yesterday I had a drinking game that I started. Hey Pink Rose, how's this going? Welcome to the stream. Pink Rose said, hi Elude, how's you doing today? I'm doing well. How about yourself? One of these days, I was thinking yesterday, I'm gonna make a compilation of all the times Pink Rose comes in and says hi. Because it's like every day without fail, Pink Rose is here. So I was thinking it'd be funny to just like string all of them together. Have like a Pink Rose tribute day. We'll do something like, I don't know. Maybe I'll buy an EU client and level a Lobby tune with Pink Rose as a special or something. When I make it big. When I can afford 2 clients and 2 subs. As if I'm not overextended enough with all the tunes I gotta manage. Jeez. It's kind of nice I can just grab the thorium that I see. I bet you it probably sells really well too. Oh well, the nuggets don't. I'm not going to get like actual thorium ore until I level up my mining a bit more. I think if I didn't have the profession thing scaling my level up, I'd probably be at like 10 or maybe iron ore right now with my professions. Looks like someone declined, but we just need a tank and we're going to get some dungeon queues. I've tried tanking already, and tanking's pretty rough right now. Or at least it is for the paladin, because we're not super survivable yet. We don't have all the fancy things and our talents and our trees that are helping us. So we're kind of squishy. We can't tank as many mobs as our DPS can DPS right now. And that's like painfully evident whenever you see me hop in a dungeon. The Lightforged Draenaii, she pushes some deeps. Like out of all day yesterday, or whatever run this is from yesterday, as a rep pally, I was doing easily 30% of the group's damage. And I was really surprised by that because Light's Judgment, the 2.5 minute ratio cooldown, hits like a Mack truck. Like, you pop that thing and you're easily doing 50% of the group's damage on the pull that you pop that. If you're doing just like your normal rotation as you're nuking. But yeah, we'll get a good look at it today and see how that works. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be so strong if I wasn't keeping up with the empty spots of my gear. Like, I got this stuff pretty much up to the level that I am. Like, anything below item level or at or below item level 50 is gear that I need to work on and replace. But the few odds and ends like the gloves, the belts, the boots, the bracers, and the rings, I have already like 4 or 5 levels above even where I am. So it's a good idea to see if you're geared enough. That's kind of the benefit with level scaling as well, is a lot of these quest rewards, even if I did, for example, go back to Stranglethorn Vale, like, Stranglethorn Vale I think is like a level 20 zone naturally. All the rewards that I would get from Stranglethorn Vale would then scale up to level 50, or even be like level 54 in some cases. So, like, you literally can just quest anywhere. One thing I was wondering, though, was some zones, like early on, for example, if you're questing in, like, the crossroads, you're likely to not see any shoulders drop until, like, you hit towards the end of, like, the barrens or whatever. So, for, like, the low B levels like that, you're probably better off trying to skip ahead to a higher level zone so you can get quest rewards for like your trinkets, or quest rewards that yield like shoulders or something like that, or necklaces. Like I know necklaces is another thing you don't get really early on. So I wonder if you're like I don't know, like sacrificing the opportunity to get loot in those slots by questing in a lobby zone. But I'm not sure, because it could be that they fix that and maybe you would get items in those slots. Maybe they'd be like world drops for you as you're killing stuff. But one thing I do know is dungeon queuing, you get those satchels. So the satchel of helpful goods is always going to be something useful for you, or always potentially something that's useful for you. So that's kind of nice. Okay, cool. So we're gonna, I guess, lob one of these button willow hand grenades at these Okrillon weapon crates to remove their arms. So I guess this zone here, the RP's kind of like Blasted Lands, is where the Alliance and the Horde are starting to clash in a big way. And my guess it's maybe it's a battle for, it's not resources out here, but maybe it's a battle for a tactical position outside of the dark portal, so we can establish a foothold before we hit up BC. That would make sense. And then there's like an interest on both sides, on either faction, to kind of get to BC, because there's new rare materials and that green gear that you get from your first few quests that's replacing all of your hard-earned raid gear. I remember that being so demoralizing whenever BC hit. All the work that, well, for me myself, I never actually got so deep into raiding to where it was demoralizing, but I think the general consensus back in the day, when vanilla transitioned to Burning Crusade, was a lot of those 40-man raiders who were doing like all the bleeding edge progression stuff went into Burning Crusade, and with like, you know, all of their tier gear, they thought they were going to be super strong, and just right after they did the first few quests, they were replacing all their epic tier gear with higher item level green gear. So the greens from Burning Crusade were making your character hit way harder than epics were. Pink Rose says that she's doing good, thank you. Glad to hear it. How's your Demon Hunter coming along? Have you been working on your reputations and stuff, or have you unlocked any allied races? Or are you still just trying to get your Demon Hunter even higher item level until Battle for Azeroth like legit drops? I noticed on the launcher this morning, whenever I was starting up WoW, the launcher had an install for Battle for Azeroth. Like, instead of saying play, the blue button that says play, it actually says install. And instead of actually the drop down menu saying World of Warcraft Legion, it was saying Battle for Azeroth. So I wonder, I'm curious when that release date actually is going to be. I don't know if they've announced the release date yet. I know like the pre-purchase is available, that's how we have our allied races, but I guess I could probably do a quick Google search and find out. I don't know, stuff like that though, I try to just wait for it to happen. I try not too hard to feel the woes and regrets of it not being implemented yet. Let's see. Got ourselves some pretty decent looking gloves. That's another thing too with the level scaling. It looks like they've reworked some of the models for the gear. That could have been just something that's been implemented since Cataclysm though, for all I know. A lot of my early leveling experience, I've only actually caught a few tunes leveling through Cataclysm since Deathwing changed the landscape. And then the few that I have leveled, they've all been Horde. So all this ally stuff's very new to me. But it's pretty easy just to pick up a quest and follow the arrow. That's why I really dig Dougie. Dougie's a pretty good quest add-on. I'm sure most people know about Dougie by now, or probably have some equivalent that they use. Let's see. We've got some Zul'Farrak quests here. I'm going to untrack them though. What is Sealed Gate? Yeah, any of this stuff we'll see when we're in the dungeon. This is an Uldaman quest. I don't know if I'll even see Uldaman anymore. I guess a good way to find out if I'm even going to see some of this stuff is to probably open up our dungeon finder. Yeah, apparently we can run dead mines all the way up to Sunken Temple right now. Oops, I made everything mad. Come at me, bros. Alright, check this out. Daydream gives coordinates to Grand Outer Fisher Romuel for a tactical strike on the drowned Ghanaian settler. I try to read it fast before it goes off, but I'm not fast enough like that. I made a macro, so every time I cast Light Judgment, I tell Grand Artificer Romuel. He's the guy steering the Vindicar, if you've had any like max level tunes out in Argus. He's the one that allows you to cast Light's Judgment on your max level tunes. As you're doing the Argus quest chain, you start powering up the Vindicar, and like you get the mech suit, the Ret Pally mech suit, or I guess it's just like a Pally themed mech suit, and eventually you get one that allow you to like rebirth yourself if you die. I always go with the Light's Judgment though, calling down the beam, and that's actually these Lightforged Draenai's racial. I think that's pretty cool. So I added some flavor text to mine. She's supposed to roar when she does it though. I'm surprised she didn't /roar. Yeah. So yeah, this is the macro I made. Just casting Light's Judgment, showing the tooltip, and then gives coordinates to Grand Artificer Romuel for a tactical strike on the percentage sign target. I got kicked out of a group the other day, and I'm wondering if the macro is what did it. Because every time I would use it, it wasn't super spammy, because it's like a 2.5 minute cooldown, so I couldn't have used it more than every 2 or 3 minutes. But I was very much out DPSing everybody in the party. I think what had happened was this healer started pulling, because the healer, if you're an experienced character, and like let's say you're a ballsy healer, you see one of your DPS is like nuking things down far beyond the rest of the party, and let's say also that the tank is kind of lost and doesn't really know what to do, and you're an impatient healer just trying to get your levels or trying to queue up for the next queue. What you might be inclined to do is just heal that one DPS that appears to know what he's doing, that's doing half of the group's damage just by himself. In that case, you may egg on the DPS in this hypothetical scenario by pulling extra mobs or pulling the next group without the tank or the other DPS. And what I was seeing was mobs were being pulled, and I was seeing that our healer was starting to take damage, or our healer had aggro. So what I would do is I'd flip around, judge, and start DPSing and popping my super cool Uber God mode cooldown here, and yeah, easily doing 50% of the group's damage, and we were surviving the pulls. We were surviving each pull, and just as soon as we would get done with that pull, the healer would still have mana, so the healer would pull the next pull. And I think after like 2 or 3 pulls like that, the healer and I both got kicked from the party. I thought it was just me at first, and I thought it was because of my macro. So whenever I got kicked out of the party, I whispered the healer like, "Oh man, I wasn't actually trying to like pull without the group. Somebody else was doing that." And the healer says, "Yeah, they kicked me too." He's like, "Them bastards," or something like that. So yeah, I felt kind of bad. I was like, damn. I wasn't like, I don't I don't try to be subversive. I don't try to be toxic in the parties that I run. I actually try to be conversational. Like I try to say hi, and you know, something's happening. I try to like kind of like type in the party what I see going on if I can help it. Like I try to bop my healer. I throw my bubble on the healer, and I try to be helpful. Like if the tank's eating it, I'll stop DPS and actually start healing the tank if it looks like the healer can't keep up. Alright, check it out. We got our damage meter rolling. I'll give y'all an idea of what I'm doing here. I think this is crazy. Like, the reason why I'm pointing out, even to begin with, the damage, is I feel a nerf coming. We got our tank that says, hold on a second, please. And then the healer says, be right back, 1 second, sorry. Nod. Unquestionable. I'm gonna wait for them. Looks like the Shadow Priest and the Hunter are ready to start the dungeon. They've been sitting in queue probably as long as I have, so they're all antsy. Pink Rose says, Demon Hunter 936 item level and your farming rep. Nice. How far along are you on your rep? Have you got to at least 50% on anything? Or 50% into Revered? Most of my tunes before I got my allied races were all sitting at about 50% into Revered. Uh-oh, we got a pay to win over here. Pay to win player. Check out the helm. That's the helm you can get. It's a cosmetic from the shop. He's got it transmorgified to the Crown of Eternal Winter. That's the pay to win helm. There's a fiery one that comes after that too. I mean, it looks sick. It looks pretty cool. I just wish there was a way for these things that you can buy. I wish there was a way to get it for free in the game somehow. I wish it just wasn't something that was exclusive to people with their credit cards. I've spent some money on the game myself though. There are some things that I saw that I had to get. Like the Pandaren Monk. Actually the ones here with the check mark. I got these. This was Mop. I think these were Wrath. But yeah. Some of the things, they tickle my fancy, so I go out of my way for them. Celestial Steed, Winged Guardian. But I thought that at some point they would get removed from the shop and there would be like that air of prestige where it's like, I got this item that you can't attain anymore. But no, they've always been on the shop even after that. So it's like, yeah, I probably won't buy anything else because like there's really no point because you can buy it at any point later on. I didn't notice the group had already taken off without me, so we'll get cracking here. Tank says, let's go, and Old Wing said, hi, sorry. Let's call down a tactical strike on our location. Boom, Light's Judgment, 80% of the group's damage. That is, I think, going to be nerfed at some point. Because there's not enough people that can do it, and there's not enough people that do it. Anybody that worships the damage meter is really mad at that right now, I believe. Is this a boss or something? I guess so. Oh, we got our victory perfume. It increases our attack power by 38. That's from the Love is in the Air event, which I think I'm going to run today just for the XP, if nothing. Bulky Iron Spalders. Those look kind of whack, actually. But we got the Mog. I've been trying to build a Lobby Transmog setup. Some of this gear, as I level up, is starting to get unlocked from my Paladin. From my Horde Paladin Nightmyre. Over here to my Alliance Paladin Daydream. Oh, come on. I was trying to interrupt him to get him to come closer, but it doesn't look like he wants to. Oh, tank died. Oh shit. Stuff's hitting the fan. Come on, group them up. We'll taunt that guy and kite him back this way. I think these guys enrage and they start hitting like really hard. Oh yeah, they hit hard. Oh my goodness. Long just released. So we're gonna be waiting for him to run back. Stomper Krieg the drunk. Old Wing says, I have B-Res by the way, so don't release next time if you remember. Okay. I remember these old groups, like in older WoW, when you used to group up with people, there was always this kind of like feeling out stage where you had to get used to the players in your party for like the first few pulls or the first like 1/3 of the dungeon. I think we're still finding our footing right now. What really helps is communication. Like the druid's been really good so far in letting people know that there's stuff going on or that they're up to something. Oh, looks like we got a big in here. We got that polymorph off. We're not gonna let him get the flame strike off though. Our interrupt's on cooldown. I was getting ready to stun if he was gonna do the polymorph again. Looks like we're 91% into level 50. We're about to hit 51, and we're 38% into level honored for Gnomer again. We're trying to get revered so we can get the 16 slot bag from the Gnomer again quartermaster. For some reason the allied races start out with 10 slot bags, so you very much need some bags initially. This is my very first ally tune on this server, so I actually don't have any gold. I've been starting from the bottom like Drake. Started from the bottom, now we here. Oh my god. He died again. Now I'm gonna die. Oh my goodness. I think the problem there was they pulled the boss with the two mobs. And to be fair, it wasn't the tank that pulled the boss, it was that hunter. The hunter pulled the boss. And he wiped the party because the tank wasn't gonna pull that drunk guy. I think I'm gonna leave this group too. I don't want to run with that hunter. He was impatient. He jumped out that first initial pull, and then he's pulling extra mobs unnecessarily. So yeah, we're gonna pass on that guy. But we can salvage it because we got the holiday boss up right now. We'll go do that. There's a mount you could get from it, I guess is why people would run it. It's the love is in the air mount, the big love rocket. So maybe we can get the big love rocket from the heart-shaped box if we do this extra boss. The queue for this one's gonna be a lot faster too. It's only 1 minute. Little pro tip there: if you want that rocket and you got a bunch of alts, and they don't even have to be high level alts, if you just have a lot of other characters, you can run that boss multiple times a day on every character you have. Well, 1 time a day for every character that you have, and you have that much more of a chance of getting the rocket. So I, for one, am not super concerned with it. I don't really care as much for the pink rocket, so I'll probably pass. But that's something you could do if you want to go out of your way for it. I'm doing it for the XP. It's a really short, quick run and easy XP, especially if you get some 110s in your group that are farming Mythic and Taurus and have like all the top tier gear in the game. Let's see if we got any of those. A Mage, a Death Knight, and a Hunter. So by the time you usually run up, they're already done killing these guys for the most part. Looks like the tank's the only one that's super geared in this party. We'll use our Light's Judgment here. This is something that I'm really interested in, that I really dig. Even though they're 110 and I'm only level 50, we can still farm the same dungeon all together. That dinged me to 51, so that was what I needed to get pushed over just a little bit more. Alright, so we looted that guy. We got a whole bunch of perfumes and stuff. Those perfumes, like the one that I was using in that last run, are really good for the damage buff. Get that victory perfume for attack power. I wonder if you could stack them. Spell power? No, they overwrite. Okay, I'll just keep the attack power one then. Alright, we need to get these birds. I popped us back up into queue. It looks like a 22-minute wait. That'll give us time to quest a bit. Try to grab as many of these birds as I can. Come to me, pigeon. Come to me. There's another one right there. Are they coming? I had to have hit like, I think I hit like 5 of them. We only got 2. Maybe he was interrupting me. Get over here. Get over here. I definitely hit 2 there. I guess you're supposed to do them one at a time. That's one thing that I've always... Oh, I'm one-shotting a few of them. Okay, that makes sense. So some of them, they just die on impact, and some of them come down pissed off. I see. Let's grab this guy. One shot. So it's like it crits. Oh, swing and a miss. It does seem like, now that I'm super geared, I think I was trying to explain this earlier, I don't know if I did properly. With the missing slots, if they're kept up to your level, if those slots are up to date, then it's very much like, I don't know, not challenging, but you definitely have longer battles. Like, you can get your rotation off multiple times before the mobs die, because they're going to keep scaling up as high a level as you are. And if your gear's not scaling up as high a level as you are, then you're less geared for your level, in a sense. So things become more challenging, and that applies to dungeons as well. The less geared you are for your level, the more challenging the dungeons are going to be. But if you're a random queue baby like myself, then you've been getting your satchels and you've been replacing all them slots like on the fly. And even questing to a certain extent, like just doing these quests out in the world, they'll replace those slots for you as well. So I guess really if you're just remaining productive, I think what's doing it for me though is the random dungeon finder, because you'll always get blue quality items from the random dungeon finder. And some of the stuff that actually drops off of bosses, like those shoulders here, for example, this is 6 levels ahead of me. Well, 5 now because I dinged 51. But that type of stuff kind of matters. So like I'm pretty much blued out just from having my random satchel and those lucky drops off of bosses. Actually, most of these are just drops off of bosses, come to think of it. Usually the satchel goods have some kind of a generic brand on them, like I think one I've been seeing a lot, and it's kind of like, I think it's cool because it's all Stalwart gear. It says like the Stalwart girdle or Stalwart bracers. And I'm like, ah, little nod, Elude Stalwart. That's who I am. It's like I'm wearing my own name brand gear. It's like, you ever seen Back to the Future where Marty McFly's mom does his laundry and she sees that his underwear has his name written on it. She calls him Calvin Klein. It's like that. It's like I'm wearing Stalwart gear. It's the name on my gear. That's my name. But none of the stuff I have equipped is actually called that right now, so kind of a moot point, I guess. Yeah, none of this stuff is very challenging for me anymore, now that I'm blue geared. It's pretty much a random dungeon finding. There seems to be a demand for tanks. Maybe I could go tank. I don't really, the questing doesn't really seem like it's gonna do it for me right now at the moment. Maybe whenever I hit up Northrend or when I get to Burning Crusade, it'll be a little bit more challenging, but right now I'm just kind of rolling over stuff as Ret. Ret 2 OP. Yeah, let me clear my bags and I'm going to go ahead and hop in a dungeon. I'm going to do some tanking. It looks like our tanks and healers need some love. And actually, you know, from my experience so far, it really appears as though the tanks are like the ones kind of in need right now. The healers seem strong enough to see, the healers seem okay, but the tanks, a lot of these tanks are very squishy. Let me see if I can do something about that. That's a 30-minute queue, yeah, and the queues will be longer too if there aren't any tanks. So let's make sure we got the right stuff on. Haste trinkets, is there? Yeah, haste is probably best anyways for tank, come to think of it, because things like consecration scale off of haste. Same with your shield of righteousness. One more thing before I queue. Yes, I need to pull out things like my bubble. I want to throw this bubble on people whenever they're starting to eat it, if I can't taunt. That's pretty much it, huh? Oh, wait, no. Open that back up. Ardent Defender. This is like our main cooldown here. Let's leave Light's Judgment on number 1. We'll put Ardent Defender on number 2. Then we got our Healing Neck on number 3. Yeah, I think we're ready. Make sure there's nothing else we're missing here. Doesn't appear as though... Okay, and one more thing is talents. Yes. Maybe I'll want Blinding Light. Let's do that. Let's put that one on shift number 8. And our Blessing of Freedom on the... Actually, let's put Blinding Light here. This is just like an emote thing. It doesn't actually even work. The Champion Salute, you're supposed to pull your weapon out and kind of salute. You can see I have the buff. But I guess it only works if you have your artifact weapon. You're supposed to strike a heroic pose to impress those around you. That toy doesn't work for some reason though. Okay, I think we're ready. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Let's get some tanking done. Did I queue as a tank? I did, right? Yeah, I did. There it is. Man, longest queue ever. I'll probably just level this tank from now on. We're getting to the points where it matters. For the lobby levels though, Ret's been doing it just fine for me. I don't know what it is. I just feel less like tanking or less like DPSing right now. Or leveling, I guess. Questing. That's what I mean. I feel less like questing right now. Uh-oh. Was it Strathome or Skolo? Strat, right? Not the culling of Strathome, but just Strathome. The service entrance. Oh no. Here we go. We finna get it going here. Hello. Caps. Be right there on a boat. Zuber says, give me a second. And our healer says, hey ya. Mudflap the patient. Nice. Oh, look, since it's dark, our Lightforged Draenaii tats are beaming. That's cool. You can see she's got them on her shoulders there, on the back of her arms. I think the tramp stamp here is just like part of her back tattoos and stuff too. She's got like actual tattoos beneath her clothes. It's kind of like that same kind of artifact kind of thing. Like our mount. It's a dwarf shaman cheer. It's got all the watery effects. Tramp stamp. That was probably... It's a tramp stamp. That's exactly what it is. I'm trying to figure out what to call this stuff. You see the Elec? He has like... I guess it's plate? It's like a plate rune or something like that. How are the new allied races? Pretty strong. I can't wait till they update everything on them though. Like, I wanna see what dances they will get. A lot of void elves everywhere, I noticed. I was thinking of a drinking game. Every void elf you see take a shot, and every void chicken you see take a shot. Yeah, the shaman's just like I was. He's like, everybody that wanted to be a blood elf that was stuck on Alliance now gets the opportunity with these void elves. We got a misdirecting hunter here. That's kind of nice. How goes it? The level scaling stuff though, for sure. Level scaling's really on point. I'm really digging how level scaling's. Yeah, even the Gretz. The shaman agrees level scaling is amazing. That's one thing they did really well. Silly.
Have you met my dog? His name is Barking on Puppos.
She says, have you met my dog? His name is Barking on Puppos. Like Arcanon Puros. Barcanon Puppos. That's a good name. I think that's gonna be I don't know, can Lightforged Draenaii be hunters? That could be a good hunter pet name. Barcanon Puppos. Oh, I realized yesterday whenever I was watching the stream back, you can't really hear anything. Sound. So I was thinking maybe dialogue up a bit. We can even turn the volume up a little. Pink Rose just needs the last rank of rep. Ah, okay. I wonder if my judgments are starting to refresh my shield of righteousness. I know at higher levels they do. It's a useful tidbit of information though. If they were. Come to me. Swing and a miss. My judgment missed there. That was interesting. Come on. Bring it back. Come on. Keep bringing it back. A little bit of a range pull there. Oh shit, shit's getting real. Let's call down a beam. There we go. Light's Judgment. Ah yeah, this is what tanking's about. Using them cooldowns. Managing them properly. I think I may have overextended a little. Here, let's disorient for a sec. Oh! Oh! Starting to get hit hard. Definitely got the healer earning his paycheck. Yeah, man. Let's get this guy. Can't let him get behind me because then I can't block or parry. Okay, let's wait for some of these buffs to get off. Come to me this way. Little pro LOS pull there. Let's interrupt this soul tap. We don't need to have anything channeling on ourselves. Let's bring the Banshee this way. I don't know if Blessed Hammer is considered magic, but I'm going to save that until her shield drops. Come this way, Banshee. Look at that. She's going to be dead before she can even do anything. Very nice. Hunter's on point. Let's get her out here. He was mind controlled. I was going for the stun, but he got snapped out of it. Light's Judgment on the boss here. Yeah, so Blessed Hammer doesn't get deactivated whenever she silences. So that and Shield of Righteousness aren't considered spells. They're considered melee. By that logic, at least. Same with Judgment. Good to know. Where'd she go? The hunter's gonna kill the warrior. What an asshole. Or is he supposed to? Like, I actually don't know. It looked like he almost killed him, but now he's up to max. Someone else mind controlled? So I guess that's pretty much gonna be the downside to tanking is the DPS might be kind of low with the random dungeon finding, but that's okay. I need to actually get a look at my stats. I guess I could go by item level, I guess? I don't know. I don't really know for tanking what my stats are supposed to be. I think it's haste. Haste mastery most likely. Definitely not crit strike. Maybe versatility though. Here, get this Mr. Robot thing here. I don't know if we need these. Yeah, we'll get these. Don't need this soul tap on her, so call down Light's Judgment on these dudes. There's a supply crate here. Ah, yeah. Something here. Says blackened swordsmith slain. There was a boss back there I went to go get. But I guess they kept pulling, or the hunter did. It's always the hunter. Let's pop our defensive cooldown there, help the heals out. Looks like our healer's doing some DPS, so there's a vote of confidence from our healing corner there. Because to my knowledge, healers, well, shaman healers specifically, don't heal as they DPS. At least as far as I know. So that means he's actively choosing to use his resources on damage dealing. That's why I take it as a vote of confidence. Which is good, that's good. These gargoyles, I usually try to pull them by themselves because they hit pretty hard. Thank you. Oh, it really hurts when they get behind me. Can't let that happen. I think I could Blessing of Protection myself, but I think it makes it to where the mobs don't look at me. I'm not sure if that's true or not. This reduces physical damage though. There's a blinding light here. It's my talent. It does like an AoE kind of disorient. It's also pretty good to use as an AoE interrupt if you got some casters. That on top of whoever your first target is gets silenced by your Avenging Shield. And you also have Rebuke. So there's quite a few ways to interrupt as a prop pally. I'm going to try to bring them around here. A lot of this casting damage is very avoidable if you can interrupt, so good to keep that in mind. I don't think I pulled the boss. Oh, they got the boss. Or maybe I got the boss. I don't know if he pulled when I pulled these people here. No, he wasn't the boss. Here's the boss. I gotta get my macro out. Light's Judgment. for RP. Dr. Crazy Cheese says, "What's up, guys? How's it going, Dr. Crazy Cheese? Welcome to the stream." Decided to do some tanking today. Up to this point, all the dungeons have been taking about 20 minutes, but for some reason this morning the dungeons were taking like 30 minutes. Looks like our volume's kind of on the high side in the game. I don't know if it's bothering you. No worries. Do your parenting. We'll be here. Letting him know. He said his baby was crying. I was like, no, don't worry about it, man. Do your parenting. We will be here. Nice. He said his wife got the baby. Nice. Very good. So now we can keep this dungeon rolling. He says he had to get a dungeon done with a 20-minute queue during nap time. He said, no kidding, my kids are at school. Same kids at school here too. Pink Rose says, hi, Dr. Crazy Cheese. The hunter has a 9-month-old. The warlock and I, both of our kids are at school. Dr. Crazy Cheese says, downloaded the update, just bought Battle for Azeroth and not wanting to rep grind. They should remove that. It shouldn't be a rep grind for the new races. Did I miss something? They're pinging. I don't know why. Did I miss something? The lock says, ha, that's the worst age for this game because you actually have to watch them and they climb and crawl all over. I remember when my son was little, he ripped all the keys off of my laptop's keyboard when I went to the bathroom. I was like, oh no, how could you? The scarab boss is to the left of the gates. Ah, I see. We'll do him next. So he's trying to tell me about the scarab boss I guess I was missing. This one? Oops, wrong button. I'm dispelling instead of consecrating. The lock says, if I DC, I'm sorry, the sky just fell, and I think it might affect the internet. What? Like weather? Or mortar? If I could type this. Says, yeah, they moved and they had to get a satellite. Oh, I see. Will you be back if you do? Light's judgment. Oh, cool. We didn't get the whole group. That's interesting. Ah, I see. Well, thank you for the heads up. Thanks for the heads up, then. So if the Warlock DCs, they say just to replace them. Nice. I don't know if we're gonna get just her, but we'll try. No, we're not. We got the Scarab guy. He's not too bad. If you can control how you pull the Scarab dudes, they're usually not that much of a problem. Come round here. Come this way. There we go. LOS is a tank's best friend, if y'all haven't noticed. Well, Dr. Crazy Cheese, if at least if you work on the High Mountain Torn and the Nightfallen reps, you have something you can actively do about it. The only downside to the Void Elves and the Lightforged Draenaii is they're locked by Argus. Whoops. Sorry, read that too late. Haha, you sacrifice the higher ground. That will be your demise. Daydream gives the coordinates to Grand Artificer Romuel for a tactical strike on the Neruban Ken. Gotta fit the RP with the class, you know. Man, this guy's hitting hard. Here, yeah, heals got us. Dr. Crazy Cheese said, yeah, what I love is I was leveling a Blood Elf to turn into a Nightborn, but it seems like it doesn't work that way. Yeah, that's exactly what I did, actually. I wasn't leveling a Blood Elf to turn into a Nightborn, but, so I guess it isn't exactly. But what I thought was going to happen was when you unlocked allied races, I thought that that was then going to allow you to, like, actually transfer your character to be an allied race. Like, say for example you got, in my case, like a paladin. I guess it wouldn't work that way. Now that I think of it, it sounds kind of dumb. My paladin's a horde character. I was thinking whenever I unlocked Lightforged Draenaii, I would be able to then transfer my Blood Elf paladin into a Lightforged Draenaii after the scenario. It would be like, are you sure you want to change your genetic code to become a Lightforged Draenaii? Like, I don't know. Pretty chill group we got here. They're very talkative. Everybody said a little bit of something. So much trash in this dungeon. Mudflap says it's nice running with a group that isn't a bunch of assholes. told Mudflap. Yeah, I was just actually saying the same thing. The shaman says it's rare these days. Well, it's not often you can like control the pulls in the dungeon. Like, and it's not for a lack of trying. I mean, I'm sure there are some tanks out there that are actually trying to do well, like controlling the pulls and the pace and all that. But I don't think they know better. I think they just run in and think that the healer will heal them, and they just kind of pull all willy-nilly. Like, I try to pull a little bit more conservative to fill out like the pace of the group. Like in this group, for example, like you don't outrun your healer. You make sure his mana's topped off, obviously. But like my healer has not been hurting on mana at all, and oh. Went the wrong way. But yeah, after the healer's mana is taken care of, then you look at your DPS, and then you gauge like how big of pulls you should be pulling. Like our hunter here, he has some AoE capability, but he's more like a cleave with multi-shot. I don't think he has volley yet. And he's doing really good at misdirecting, but most of our group makeup's more of like a single target. Now we got a Fury Warrior back here, and it would seem to me that he would do better in AoE situations, but I don't think he's really been AoEing a whole lot. I haven't heard Whirlwind, I don't see Blade Storm. And our Warlock actually looks like they're actively trying to AoE, but I don't think like their gear is there as much. So it's interesting. Like if I pull a big group and it seems like, you know, the AoE damage dealers are pumping out enough deeps, then I might be more inclined to pull bigger groups. But I'm going to be limited by my gear. That's another thing I got to take into account is these ghouls specifically hit me like freight trains. Like really hard hitting. So I'm going to disorient actually and try to buy the healer a second at a time. And I could even stun one and take that guy out of the group for at least a couple seconds. I think these diseases are hitting hard too. So I'm actively trying to manage my defensive cooldowns and control cooldowns to help mitigate damage. And that to me, that's like active mitigation. Like that's kind of what they were going for with the feel of these new tanking classes and strategies, like, or setups. Like I try to keep at least one Shield of Righteousness kind of stored in like the bank in case I start dropping way below half health and I need that kind of defensive aspect rolling, because I'd hate to use them all at once for no reason and then whenever I actually need them, not have them. And then I've got like three cooldowns that I'm rotating between. Like one's really more of a damage dealing cooldown, but I have a heal with my necklace and my Ardent Defender, which is coming up really soon. Now I'm below half health. He punted me, so I got my Shield of Righteousness rolling. I'm gonna keep that up until the healer gets me topped off. Help the damage a little bit with a Light's Judgment. Make sure I don't get punted too far. We have our Ardent Defender up, and that's going to help us stay alive here at the low hit points pool. This guy's got 13 stacks of Enrage, but I think we're okay. I think we're gonna survive this. If we have to, we'll run away, but we don't need to because we got a stun. So yeah, that was getting kind of interesting. That dude hits pretty hard. Alright, so now we'll pull these guys. Let's see what pulling one looks like. Depending on how we do on this guy, I may pull a couple more at a time. We can interrupt that. We'll save our shield until we need to interrupt again. At least until our rebuke comes off a cooldown. Poison. Yeah, we don't need to save our avenging shield. It's a big damage cooldown for us, the avenging shield, and it'll also bring itself up. I think we could probably handle 2. Let's try 2. So we're going to interrupt that with avenging shield. Keep our shield of righteousness rolling. Keep an eye out for anything else that needs to get interrupted. Oh, defensive cooldown there. I'm kind of using my Light's Protector self-heal as a defensive cooldown as well, as often as I can. But it looks like the healer's still trying to do damage, so he's comfortable. That's all that tells me, is the healer is comfortable healing me. So 2 is a little bit more interesting. I think we can handle another one of those when the healer tops everybody off. One thing I want to check is this guy is a bile spewer and this guy is a venom belcher. So that's going to matter in the amount of damage I take, I'm sure, too. We got Light's Judgment, so we'll help nuke one down really quick. Let's stun one to get that damage off of me. Oh, it looks like somebody interrupted, so I wasted mine. And pulling too, it helps your warrior cleave. It helps your lock multi-dot. Our hunter may be taking advantage of it in some way. And it keeps the healer entertained because the healer's healing. And this healer, he's actually he's actively trying to DPS as he heals. So the bile spewers are the ones that leave these bile slimes. That's something I gotta remember. We got 2 venom belchers, so we can expect to have to interrupt 2 mobs at a time, and we're gonna get poisoned from both of them. This may get interesting. Oh, he interrupted that one. Let's stun one of these guys. We don't have an interrupt just yet, but we can actually do our AoE stun. Nope, rebuke came off a cooldown just in time there. Fantastic. This is what you like to see. This is what you want to see. Most of your group doing about the same amount of damage. They're all putting about the same amount of effort in. We got these boxes on the outside I gotta remember to get. Go ahead and put that heal on cooldown. Got a venom spit coming our way. She said, ow! Got another heal there. Oh, I wasted my neck. I have a heal off my necklace. It's my number 3 up here at the top. Oops, oops. Ooh, he almost got the venom spit off. I panicked. I didn't even interrupt. I just stunned him. This I can actually disorient to interrupt. Bought me some time on my rebuke. Or to register that I needed to use my rebuke. Looks like damage is kind of split. They're focusing different targets. Damn, he got one off. Alright. Looks like the big dude wants some. Come get some, big dude. Let's get our light judgment. Oh, I used all my Shield of Righteousness. That's a bad thing. But we got one up now. Get that rolling again. Let's see if we judge. Yes, Judgment does reduce the cooldown of our Shield of Righteousness charger. That's good. So that means we can judge on cooldown and not feel bad. Oh shit. I don't think I need... Yeah, I'm going to pop Ardent Defender. I was kind of hoping I could save it, but that's what we have defensive for. All of our defensive cooldowns for, rather. So we can use them. What's happening? Oh. He's like standing right on top of me for some reason. It's good to know we can refresh our Shield of Righteousness charges, though, with our Judgment. That makes that a lot more of a priority. That Judgment, rather. Oh, no you don't. Yeah, buddy. Oh, I heard a whirlwind. The warrior's doing some AoE. Oh yeah, he's doing a lot of AoE. Come at me. Big pull here. I don't know if I should have waited for them to come out and plant first. Just kind of started attacking. Yeah, I think we're okay. Make sure we judge there. Keep our Shield of Righteousness recharging. That's a pretty good little nugget there. Prioritizing Judgment to get your defensives back up. Dr. Crazy Cheese says, survive! He says, I just looked out of nowhere and I need to be, I'm nowhere near what I need to be for Nightborn, but I'm like 100 rep from being done with this high cows? Oh, the high mountain tauren? Hell yeah. Pull 3. Didn't want anybody to get locked out. Ooh, got a soul stone from our healer there. Light's judgment on the boss. I'm trying to stand on top of the healer so whenever those things come out I can just drop a consecrate and do my blessed hammer and have everything looking at me. Got a mortal strike on me, wait for that to fall off, now use my heal. There we go. Ah yeah. See, now we got our blessed hammers. They're just picking all the adds up right before they even get to the healer. That's all she wrote, folks. Yeah, buddy. Oh, a little bit of extra adds here at the end. Don't forget to turn in. Thanks for the run, folks. Has been a pleasure. I'm gonna get some loot crates. I still need a couple crates here. I think. I don't know what what for, but they're sparkly. Strathholm supply crates? No, I've already done all the quests, it seems. Alright, let's turn in. This will dingus here. A dingus, level 52, nice.
Here there. Off with you.
Great heals.
Greetings for the Alliance.
Hello. Have a good one.
Thank you. Give him the option if he wants to rejoin. Alright, so we'll leave and we'll just go ahead and requeue. Pink Rose said no! What happened, Pink Rose? Uh-oh. I got your back. Anytime you need me, Cerilius, I'll just appear next to you like that and help you out. Alright, let's go hop in another. Nod. Right. Ooh, let's tag this guy. Rare mob there. Nice. So nice. Oh, one thing I've been meaning to check too is when you shield the righteousness, you get this damage reduction thing, right? 4.5 seconds. So if I use 2 back to back, does that extend to what, 8 seconds? So let's see. I don't think I need a mob. I think I could just hit it. No, I guess not. Never mind. Why did you say no? Oh, you didn't say no, you said moo. I see, Pink Rose. Moo. Pink Rose talking about this.
I'm a cow, look at me, look at me. I'm a cow, look at me, look at me.
I'm a cow, look at me, look at me. That High Mountain Torn there, that's their theme song. This is the new Allied Races trailer for the High Mountain Torn. I'll put a link there in chat. Y'all are welcome to check that out. High Mountain Torn specifically are the most epic of the Allied races. In case anybody was wondering. Light's judgment down upon my foes. Make sure your volume's turned down when you watch that video. I don't know if it's too late to tell. Just gonna knuckle up here. These things aren't hitting as hard as that stuff in Strathholm was. Oh, we got a little one in the back. This is that one that sprints around everywhere, I bet. Hey, we got a pretty decent shaman in the group here. Wonder what spec he is. Shaman enhancement. Ooh, enhanced shaman. I don't know. I get lost, guys. Which way do you want me to go? Yeah, we got a decent group here. Got a roll the bones rogue. I just heard it. It was like, woo. We're gonna call down Light's Judgment, but first we're gonna pull a little bit extra. I see you there, you sneaky one. We just came out of the stealth. Dispel that poison, heal ourselves. Yeah, I guess Stratholme, I guess those guys just hit harder because we're not really having that many issues with this group or this dungeon. The boss is taking a little while to go down, but they're not hitting me near as hard as they were in that other dungeon. Had to use an Avenging Shield to interrupt there because my rebuke was on cooldown. Just stand there and take it to the face, Trog. Little disorient there. I think he still got it off though. That didn't affect him. Man, our single target DPS is very, very meh. Put that belt on. We got pretty decent AoE deeps though. They want to put this on too. Got some gloves and we put on that belt there. It's like they're pulling the boss already. Ooh, this is gonna be interesting. Got a poison, they're gonna dispel the poison. I think we still have everything. We're still under control. Got 2 poisons. Ooh. It's getting fancy. I think we're okay. Most of the stuff is dropping. Let's get the damage rolling out. Ow! She stunned me. Okay, get some Light's Judgment up in you. Yeah, how you like that? Ooh, I got wings on me. Guardian Spirit increases healing received. Our healer is a beast. They just gave me a useful buff. They must be pro. Congrats. This is intense. Less exciting now that the Trogs have died though. Rip Trogs. You done. Why, thank you. Moving on now. Let's wait for everybody. If at all possible. I think Uldaman, I think I do have quests for this place. I don't know if we go that way. I don't think we do. There's a bat. Okie doke. We're gonna stick to the right here. We should be able to just beeline it to Arcadius. We'll see if anybody objects to that. I'm just gonna start heading that way. That pull got a little out of hand for a second there. Recovered quite nicely from it. A little bit of an LOS pull here. Make sure everybody stays nice and tight for the AoE. This guy, lost thread on him for a second. Call in a tactical strike from the Vindicar. Oh right, this dude's the one with the tornadoes. I don't think I have to move him. Or is that the shaman? That might be the shaman doing his Wind Fury. Oh, stunned me again. I always get surprised when I get stunned. I don't know why. Our Avenging Shield's like our hardest hitting single target ability, so I try to keep that on cooldown and I try to feed it into the guy I want to die. I guess realistically I could be throwing it into the guys with the lower hit point pool, but I'm thinking that if I throw it into the boss, when everybody transitions to him, he's already almost dead anyways. Allows the DPS to cleave a little bit more, boost their numbers. That keeps morale high. They get to see the bigger numbers, so they stay happy. Alright, there's some stuff up there, but we ain't concerned with that, I don't think. We'll keep the pace going. Get a head start on this LOS pool. Looks like we got control of everything, so that was good. We are about 13% away from getting revered with Nomer again. When that happens, I need to remember to switch my tabard over to the Pandaren tabard. Might as well get this node since it's along the way. What's cool about those nodes is they share, so if your party members hit it the same time you do, they get benefit from it as well. Go ahead and pull them trogs as well here. We still got a second for our, a few seconds for our tactical strike, aka our Light's Judgment. Alright, now we're gonna call that down. Maybe we'll get some of these scorpions with it. Got a couple. They're starting to enrage, so I'll make sure I got plenty of Shield of Righteousness up in response to that. Dr. Crazy Cheese says, see ya. Alright, Dr. Crazy Cheese, take it easy, man. Thanks for stopping by. Popped our Ardent Defender there. I think we bit off a little bit more than we could chew. That's what we got them cooldowns for. The Shaman really liked that pull. Got ourselves a Geomancer. I'm gonna focus him down. Yeah, he's down. This guy's enraged, but we can take it. He's just the one. Looks like the priest wants something over this way. This guy's trying to shadow bolt volley. I didn't get an opportunity to interrupt it. I was trying to, but I almost taunted instead. Mana burn, no thanks. Don't get that off, bud. The cool thing about the Paladin too is, since your Avenging Shield is your hardest single target ability, another thing it does is it interrupts. So if you target your caster, then you'll automatically interrupt every time. Or every time it's off of cooldown. Here, let's put this on him. Calling in a tactical strike. Boom. You can interrupt this flame spike here. Saw that going off. This guy's gonna try to run, so we'll stun him before he does. And that guy took off. Props to the priest for pointing me in this direction, because I probably would have skipped this guy. Nice. Well done. Maybe there's somebody back this way we can get to. Oh, it feels so good. After this, can we go for the Obsidian Sentinel? Where is he? Question mark. But sure. Damn. I saw that stun there. I was just a second too late. I can interrupt his chain lightning though, and his fireball. Disorient a sec. I was trying to get that shrink off of me. Lightning bolt. We can interrupt their avenging shield. And it's downhill from here. Someone got that lightning bolt. I'll get the next one. There's a chain lightning, I grabbed that. Interrupt the shrink with an avenging shield. Can't do anything to that. I can interrupt this lightning bolt though. Just out of curiosity, I wonder how many interrupts we've had this overall, the rogue's been on it. He's been interrupting like a beast. And then I'm following a close second, it seems. Very nice, very nice. Looks like the rogue's leading the way here. I guess we missed the Obsidian Sentinel. He got that bat. I'll grab it. A bunch of stuns there. Or was that just silence? It looked like I got stunned. The Obsidian Sentinel. Where is this guy? Looks like he might be this way. Ah, here's the Obsidian Sentinel. Got a silence rolling. Threw a bop on her clothy there. Looked like they were eating it. Congrats on the levels. 2 people dinged. Yeah, buddy. Alright, well done. Okay, now I think we're headed to the last guy. The Temple Hall, I would believe. No, the Hall of the Crafters. Moo! Alright, well, I wanted to make sure our heals was ready, but I went ahead and face pulled instead. Yeah, I mean, tanking seems to be pretty survivable now. I mean, it is also Uldaman though, so like maybe that's why. But even in Stratholme, it's just, there are these subtleties, like these subtle mechanics with prop paladins that really make the difference if you know how they work. Like, for example, Judgment Refreshing Shield of Righteousness. And you got 3 charges of Shield of Righteousness. Another thing is standing inside your Consecrate will do a whole lot of cool things with your moves too. And then knowing that you can interrupt with your Avenger Shield, and then also kind of knowing that your Avenger Shield is your hardest hitting single target ability kind of helps too, because then you can really help the DPS focus somebody down. And then your stuns is something that's really useful. If you're using those properly, you can help avoid a lot of damage. And then you got useful party mechanics that you can kind of do with like buffing people with bop, or eventually you'll get like blessing a sacrifice. So if you know your group's going to take some AoE damage, it's kind of unavoidable, you can bop somebody and just kind of like transfer some of that damage to yourself, or blessing a sacrifice somebody and transfer that damage to yourself. I wonder when I get that actually. I get lay on hands at 55. Okay, 56 I get blessing a sacrifice. So that'll be a nice little addition. But then also using Shield of Righteousness strategically, that can be a big lifesaver in some cases. You never want your charges to cap at 3, but you never want to just use them all to where you don't have one spare. I mean, there are cases where you will have to use your last charge, and you can kind of predict incoming damage and help mitigate it that way. And knowing that you can judge on cooldown and refresh them shields, it all kind of like, if you're paying attention, it can all kind of help. Each move helps another move out in some ways. At some point we're going to get the heal that we can actually send out to the party. Oh shit. That was a kind of a messy pull there. I thought they were going to let me LOS, but they weren't ready to wait. I guess I could just start running into the groups too. Our shaman, he really, I think that's a big difference too. Like our shaman's throwing that lightning totem pretty reliably and pretty consistently each pull, and that's helping out a lot. So props to the shaman for that. I saw an exclamation mark. I was making sure I wasn't skipping something. Just burned 2 Shield of Righteousness charges on accident there. Very nice. Yeah, but I really am. I'm loving these the level scaling. It's so nice. Whoops. I thought I used it, but I guess I didn't. I think this is the last guy. Error. Let's do it.
Who dares awaken Arceus? Who dares the wrath
Normally there's a, I was gonna say, normally there's a lot more ads. There they are. They're all very weak. I remember them being stronger than this. I think these are the bigger dudes. Save some moves up. Get our consecrate down. There we go. It's just those 3. Okie dokie. There it is. Yeah, so got that done. We're about a level. I think with whatever this is, we'll end up leveling. Who would like to start? Yes. Okay. Greed, greed, greed. So he's starting this kind of hollow disc quest chain here. Who are the Earthen? What is a subterranean matrix? What are these anomalies? What is this construction thing? Anything else? I think I understand. Trogs? What do you mean trogs? Dwarves? There's a lot of lore here. I bet you it's probably very important too. I'm not a huge lore buff though myself. I still find it interesting though. That's a pretty decent sword. I think I have it already though. Take the platinum discs to Norgana. He's at the beginning of the dungeon. Gonna TP out and in. Teleport out. I think everybody had the same idea. Now at the beginning of this dungeon we can turn these in. Hopefully I'm not in combat. Go, go, go. You got to be careful when you're doing this because sometimes you TP out and everybody leaves and you don't get to come back in. Fantastic. You gave me the ring. I'm glad. See you soon. Thank you, folks. Sometimes I like to requeue with everybody, but when I'm tanking, I prefer to just get new groups to help kind of like reduce the queue times. Alright, so what I was doing earlier was Ask Mr. Robot. So I got this add-on called Ask Mr. Robot. What it does is it takes a snapshot of all your gear and stats and it puts it in this code. So you can copy that. You can come over here to the website and plug all that in here in the middle, paste it, and it auto-populates all your information. It shows like all my bind on account gear here, shows me all my stats here. I'm getting attacked in the background. I'll just melee that person down. But this is what I like to do, especially while I'm leveling. I'll go here to export add-on or export to add-on, and the top part I'm not as concerned with. This bottom part here, however, is a pawn scale. So I can then come back to the game where I'm getting attacked by somebody and remember that I copied that pawn scale over there from Ask Mr. Robot. I can come over to pawn where I can import that scale, and you'll see right here, Daydream, protection. This is the scale with the stat weights that got imported from pawn. Or from Ask Mr. Robot to pawn. And what that does is all these items that I'm getting in my bags here, like let's say I opened up this satchel of helpful goods and I want to know if the Stalwart, shout out to Elude Stalwart there, Stalwart bear, belt of the bear here is any good for my spec. And to find that out, where's the belt here? Stalwart bear, belt of the bear, that's hard to say. At the bottom in pink, it has the tank icon and it says Daydream, and then it has a hyphen, protection 3.2. So with those pawn values I got from Ask Mr. Robot, it rates this belt with 13 strength and 13 stamina as a 3.2. Now if I hold down shift, I can see what I have equipped right now, and that's not the one that's flipping off weird bugging on the left there, but it's the bigger one that says currently equipped at the top. It says that I have a 5.1 belt on right now. So this belt, the Stalwart belt of the bear, is actually not as good as the Revelash's girdle that I currently have equipped. And it's doing that because there's strength and stamina on the Revelash's girdle, but it also has crit strike and versatility. And what I think it is the versatility specifically that's putting this one at a 5.1 as opposed to the Stalwart belt of the bear's 3.2. So you can actually see it in the pawn values how it's actually rating the gear. It says versatility is rated at a 0.29. Mastery is a 0.3, so mastery is better than versatility, just barely. But then haste is at a 0.39, almost a 0.4, and then crit is a 0.36. So it's actually on my Ravelosh's Girdle, the crit strike and the versatility working together, that makes it more powerful than the Stalwart Belt of the Bear. And then it's also valuing strength at a 0.41, so it could be the strength in combination with the crit strike and versatility is putting it over, whereas the Stalwart Belt of the Bear just has strength. So yeah, once you do that, like, you don't need to know all that stuff. That's what I like about Pawn, is it'll do all that math stuff for you, and it'll just give you a number to look at. And in a lot of cases, like, if, for example, if I put, let's put the Stalwart Belt of the Bear on. Now you'll see in my inventory there's a green upgrade button, or a green upgrade icon on the Ravelosh's Girdle, and when I mouse over it, even aside from the point value, it gives me a percentage. It says this is a 60% upgrade for my tank spec, but also in Retribution spec this is a 134% upgrade. So either way you cut it, this belt is better for ret and prot, so I know to wear that. And it'll do that for any other item. It's saying this neck actually, even for tank spec, is better than the one that I'm wearing right now. It's a 12% upgrade. So that actually tells me that I can just delete this versatility neck because it's not an upgrade for my tank spec. And I use Outfitter, so whenever I switch between prot and ret, all my gear swaps out as well. So to show you an example of that, give me a second. Let me open this satchel right quick. So we got a Tumultuous Ring of the Bandit. That ended up over here somewhere. It's not an upgrade, otherwise it would have a green upgrade arrow. Here it is. It's moving around. It's too fast. Alright, the Tumultuous Ring of the Bandit. It's a 1.4 for prot and a 1.5 for red. So none of this stuff here is an upgrade. I know that I can vendor all this. And actually, as I think about it, come to think of it, I may want to equip some stuff just to save it to my my collections for mogging later. So everything here I already have stored in my collections, it appears. I need to go find a vendor pretty bad. Maybe I can get rid of some of this stuff. This is a dodge cologne. Maybe that'll be good for tanking. I know I don't need spell power unless I plan on healing, but I don't plan on healing. Here's another dodge perfume. And attack power stuff I can save. So I got rid of a couple of things there. Now, let's go to Retribution spec. Because we've gotten some more items since we were last in Ret. We may want to double check and make sure that those items aren't actually an upgrade. And you can see my outfitter, it's like, hey, I can't find these items. It's because I've replaced those over time. So here, let me delete these. These aren't necessary. Try to keep my add-ons clean and managed. Alright, so in Ret spec, we got some upgrades. See, we got 3 items here. We got some gloves. It says that that's a 2% upgrade for tank compared to what I'm wearing. These bracers for Ret are a 22% upgrade, so we'll put those on. These gloves are a 5% upgrade for Ret. And now we're wearing all the appropriate gear for our Retribution specs, so we can update this to current items. And now our Ret specs set up. So you'll see for Ret, every time I go to Ret, it'll automatically equip this gear. And then whenever I go to tank spec, you'll see my sword switch out for sure, but I don't think there's any other items that'll swap out. Yeah, pretty much the same gear that I'm using for Ret, I'm using for prot as well. And that's all I wanted to check with Ask Mr. Robot. Of course, like, explaining all that makes it seem very complicated, but really it's just a matter of listening to what Pawn tells you once you get the stuff set up. Pink Rose says, I got good news last night. My girlfriend's pregnant. Wow, congratulations. That's awesome, Pink Rose. Wow. So, you just found out last night? That's cool. So that means she's probably like, what, a week or two along? 9 months, there's gonna be little baby pink roses. Little rosebuds running around in the world. That's awesome. Congrats. Super congratulations. Trying to bite Mr. Dr. Crazy Cheese's thunder there, huh? I don't know what it is. Everybody's getting pregnant lately. A couple of my wife's friends are pregnant as well. Cheer for Dr. Crazy Cheese and Pink Rose. Cheer! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! That's awesome, Pink Rose. Man, in that group I was running with earlier too, there was a little 9-month-old. Did you notice that back then? Strathholm? They were talking about their kids and little 9-month-olds and stuff like that. There's like, I think it's just because spring's coming. It's like the winter to spring transition. Everybody's getting knocked up. Gonna have to tell the wife to stop drinking the water. Like, hold on now, we don't need no more kids. Daydream, you're putting in work, dude. Just about to wrap up today's stream at the moment. Got about 20 minutes left. I think we could do one more dungeon run. Anyone wanna do a dungeon run? I think that will be a good ending for today's episode. I'm tanking BT dub. Twitch and YouTube actually. Elude Stalwart. Lana Kira says they'll join for one. On YouTube, you can on youtube.com/see Elude Stall. Let me make sure I spell my stuff right. Tazesh, you wanna do one? I think Tazesh. Oh, he did say. Oh, my bad. You did say. Okay, so anyone else? Two slots left. We can make this a full guild run. Pink Rose said, "Yep, thank you. Yep, congratulations, Pink Rose." All right, we finna do the dang thing. All right, KK, let's do this. All right, so we're gonna do one more dungeon here, and then we're gonna go take a lunch break. Wanderer? I wonder if this person's gonna allow me to mog. Please, let me mog. Let's do that. Do we have the bulwark at Hezanah? No, we don't, not yet. Any other shield we want to make? Alliance? No. This one? This one's kind of cool. Let's apply that. Save. Enter. Let's do it. So it looks like we're going to wrap up today's stream with World of Warcraft Mists of Pandaria Scholomance. How is this Scholomance? Well, I guess Mists of Pandaria is whenever it got revamped. Welcome. Welcome passengers, today I'm going to be your captain here. We're experiencing a little turbulence right at the beginning, but we're gonna manage just fine. Sorry for spam, lol. Sometimes I try to hit that move and I don't realize that macro's on it. Try to get it charged up before I get my other moves off. The global cooldown keeps me from casting it though.
Class is now in session.
Yeah, it is. Hey, we got a Vinny Keys is now part of the Stalwart Vanguard. Welcome to the Stalwart Vanguard, Vinny Keys. And welcome to the stream. Appreciate your follow. Oh shit. I forget how hard those ghosts hit. I gotta be careful with that. A little bit of an LOS behind the staircase here if we can pull that off. Yeah, usually if they're casting or something, that kind of subverts our LOS a little bit. It's okay, we got this. Maybe we can get some interrupts. The chaos. The chaos. Interrupt that shadow incinerate. Taunt this guy back this way. Get some damage on him so he doesn't get pulled by somebody else. Wait for his next cast and we'll interrupt it with an avenging shield. There we go. Okay, so let's do this. I don't know if this little coffin will LOS, but yeah, it looks like it did. Nice. Interrupt that shadow incinerate. Make sure the big guy's looking at us. Got some good damage in this group. That's nice.
Class dismissed.
Got our artillery strike ready again. Yeah, these things are melting.
Can never die.
I think it's just a matter of watching out for the path of those books with that. Breastplate of soul racking. How does that look? I don't know if I'd be able to see it. Oh yeah. Pretty cool. Oh, got a little disoriented there. My fingers got offset, so I started running all crazy. Oh, one thing we might want to do is get our neck out so we can use it. There we go. We got 4 stacks of schmutz on ourselves. Dispel that off. Let's grab the elites. I'm less concerned with all the non-elite mobs. My main job here, I try to focus on just making sure the elites are looking at me and getting properly interrupted. These reanimated corpses, I think, too, need to be paid attention to. Let's make sure the room is completely clear of all these mobs. Caught our Shadow Priest getting attacked just a little late there.
Oh, it takes some real stones to challenge the mistress of illusion.
Well, show me what you got.
Alright, here we go. This thing, I just want to make sure I'm not standing in it when she casts it. Be good if we face it away from the party too, if at all possible. Call in an artillery strike again. And step out of that cone effect. Yeah, we got some really good DPS in here. This is going a lot smoother than the previous times I've ran it. Very nice.
My dear, it appears we have visitors. Friends of yours, boss?
You there. Make yourselves useful. Deal with these summoners.
I think those bone shards, yeah, that's a cone effect. I want to point that away from our party.
Summoners further. Behold! What's the matter, boss? Getting
Point that up here.
Never stop hunting your
All we're really concerned with are the bone reavers here. Everything else is secondary.
the weaving of flesh and bone and soul.
Little gnome here. He looks weird.
once I've ripped out your throat.
You too are beautiful. Have you looked in a mirror recently?
Think I can stun this person? No, I can't.
My dear, you should embrace this gift that has been bestowed upon you.
Oh, don't let him behind me. Can't block or parry from the back.
Run, necromancer. Your life ends once I catch my breath.
Come, boss. Your fate awaits you.
Alright, for this guy, the most important thing is keeping your bone armor up. So you get those from the bone piles. He'll periodically pick a random party member to knock those off, I believe. Oh shit, we got a Light's Judgment from Lana Kira, it looked like. I'll get mine here in a second. I'm gonna bring him closer to this bone pile. I'm gonna call down my Light's Judgment, heal myself a little bit, get some defensives rolling. He's hitting hard. Just keep up Shield of Righteousness and judge as often as we can to refresh it. Yeah, we didn't have to rebuff Bone Shield at all there. This is a really good spot to cheese the meters a little with Light's Judgment. I don't know if I'll get the opportunity because I already have it on cooldown, but that big Pusteel guy has a lot of mobs on him. Non-elite, but still each extra target Light's Judgment hits does nuke DPS. Alright. This may get a little fancy. Let's pop some Ardent Defender. Yeah, we're good. We got this. We got this.
Did you forget, girl? I am the Dark Master. I command the undead.
Lillian, no! On my rogue, this is my combat ally. She's pretty cool. She says some pretty funny stuff whenever you're running around with her.
And fetch me their bones.
Are they fighting people back there? No, right? Okay. I was worried. I thought they were going to get locked out for a second there. Come to me. I can't remember if you DPS her down before she does this, if she doesn't transmission. I want to try to do it. We both get light. We both casted our Light's Judgment. Let's see if we kill her. Yes. Gotta go back for the book real quick then. KK. We missed the book. What, this group here? I've done the quest already, so I don't see the books. That was cool though. I didn't know you could beat Lillian Voss like that. Ah, okay. Sweet. Cheer. Alright, I think we got what we need there. I'm not sure if those guys on the side will aggro. These will though. Professor Slate over there. I think we could just pull him next, if I'm not mistaken. He'll put some schmutz on the ground, but I think we'll be okay. There's the schmutz. Getting far enough away so our DPS can get behind. Yeah, there we go. Oh, shit's about to get real. Oh my god. Okay, LOS, LOS, LOS. Yeah, we got this. Call in an artillery strike. That's always scary when those things pull.
If you haven't come to study, I'll use
Oh wow, this was like a really fast run. Alright.
school is in session.
Oh no! Tage just got locked up. He's learning a hard lesson right now. See, I fought this before without him locking anybody up. Or maybe he just didn't lock me up so I didn't notice. Nice. He made it out. Now Gua's getting learned the hard lesson. Oop, grats. Alright, I think that's it. GG. GG indeed. My bags are maxed out right now. Thank you, folks. I think that's it. Alright, I gotta go vendor and sell and repair and organize these bags. I think yes, I did hit Revered with Nomer, so I'm gonna Hearth actually. and that'll put me in Stormwind, so I can go swap this stuff out. Where's my hearth? That's all the dungeoning I've got in me. Good run. Alright, I'm about to go ahead and wrap up today's episode. I'm going to hit the hearth and go back and sell, repair, fix my bags, and swap out my tabards. Actually, let me do that now before I forget. And with that, we're going to conclude episode 31 of Elude Stalwart playing World of Warcraft Legion on Daydream, our Lightforged leveling paladin. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and for those of you that want to catch me next time, I usually stream Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. till 11 a.m. So until next time, we'll see you guys later. Take it easy.